knowing this information now means that you guys are going to be ahead of 99% of people because so much information is lacking. Profound, they have put together the best, highest quality research for this, and I'm going to be leaning on them heavily for this deck because they have actually gone through and tested these things through tens of thousands of accounts across ChatGPT, Perplexity, Copilot, and of course, Google AI Search Overview.
Matt, you just delivered like an incredible presentation to my community, and I just immediately took you and I was like, we have to talk for YouTube audience. I have two things that I want really to kind of summarize what you talked. Of course, there's so much nuance, but the first one is old way of ranking on search versus what's happening right now. Could you talk about that comparison?
100%. So back in the day, and just to establish a little bit of context here, the first day that I woke up and had money in my PayPal account from a website that ranked on SEO back in 2005, since that day of trying to sell swing sets materials online and ranking for those keywords, up until working for an SEO agency, then working for the past almost decade at Monday.com, I've had a lot of experience over what traditional online marketing looks like and how things are ideally set up for. Now that is totally different. So the old way of how to do things really was around making sure that you had lots of backlinks, that you were able to have a lot of domain authority, that you had a lot of history and context. People online were referencing and talking about you a lot. And especially if you had old historical context, the more authority you got from those positions. So the old SEO was really about authority and ranking and history. The new way is essentially all of those things being completely changed. If you make great content that AI can see easily and cite easily, which we'll talk about in our conversation, those are the kinds of things that could get picked up in a matter of days. Traditional SEO would take you maybe 6 months to a year to properly scale up and rank in those engines like Google predominantly. Now you could get cited thousands of times in a matter of 48 hours. And so we dive into all of the different mechanics of making that happen because it is a very exciting time and crazy time to be alive in the world of marketing.
You also build a couple of websites, run tests continuously. So could you talk about 5 must things that people need to know considering ranking on AI search engines?
100%. So we dive into all of this in terms of our conversation here, but a quick overview for you guys to see what's coming. First things first is you need to make sure that if you want to access 500 million users and growing on ChatGPT, you need to understand Bing and you need to understand Bing Webmaster Tools and that you are ranking properly inside of Bing. So we talk all about how that works. The next thing that is going to be really important is not only about the quality of your content being good, but being consistent, updating that quality because AI currently has a recency bias. So we discuss all of the different mechanisms around that as well. Then, of course, there's going to be how do you use natural language to answer frequently asked questions? The FAQs and the lists of comparisons, those kinds of content are incredibly valuable. So when you think about what your customer is trying to do, accomplish, who they need to be, what transformation they want to have, the benefits of your product or service, being able to incorporate those into 5 to 10 frequently asked questions are going to be huge because natural language is where everything is shifting. You need to make sure that your URLs reflect natural languages. So no more 12789, -48 product JPEG. It really actually needs now to be, how do I compare these 9 different credit cards? What are the 5 best running shoes? Those are the URLs specifically that you need to be able to incorporate into the plans that you are doing. And we also discuss, and I think this is one of the most important things, is how do you actually make your website readable by AI? Yeah. If AI cannot find and see your website, how is it going to be able to cite you and bring you into those sources? Google AI Overview, Copilot, Perplexity, and ChatGPT all have different preferences, but there are some universal rules. So we talk a lot about when and where to use Java, if at all, how to use HTML. We go into a little bit more of those technical sides of things so that you could make sure that your stuff is findable and that all of the cool things that we talked about are actually possible for your business.
What I'm excited is, of course, using prompt techniques to have prompt injections, re-engineering that it's actually benefiting your business and is readable by AI. So you are launching a new website, completely new passion project. What are the first things when you're putting a website that you are like incorporated and it has to be there?
So in thinking through this for our website, for example, proveworth.com, it's all going to be around how do we post that consistent quality and get regular updates onto this website? How do we make sure that those FAQs are there and being properly answered? So we need to deeply understand our audience and what they are looking for. And then going into the backend Webmaster Tools, are you being discovered on Google for AI overviews? Are you being discovered on Bing for ChatGPT? So incorporating those kind of core basics of making sure that you get found, making sure that you have quality, and making sure that you speak in a natural way so that real people can get real questions answered. Those are all the things that we've put into the back end of our website as well. And when you see sources getting cited by these AIs, go and click on them, look at them, and see how they're structured and how they look. You'll notice a lot of consistent patterns around their ability to answer questions and to be very readable, very insightful, and very focused on the user.
We talked about it during your session in the community, but I just want to bring this up because when you say consistently content in a specific way written and that AI search engines understand that, my mind immediately goes to multi-agent systems, that you can literally have like agentic system that researches content like immediately, recency, check, then does the SEO, like AI enabled SEO, writes content, publishes frequently asked questions. But there is one key that you talked is being actually useful to humans, that you have to deliver value, you have to answer questions. But then is this whole discussion of AIs writing content for other AIs to read, the whole ethical layer of that. And you made a very good comment about it. Can you touch it also here?
I think in terms of the future and where we are at right now is the only thing that is going to matter is, does it help the end user? And the real question that I think this poses is, do we care if a human is more helpful than an AI? So if an AI is writing for another AI and it is helping the user that much more, those are the kinds of questions that I think are going to be very interesting for us to be answering as marketers, as business owners in the future. And we talk about it, but I think one of the most interesting points in that realm is the fact that when you think about these AIs writing information for other AIs, guess what's going to make that better? It's the person with the proper understanding of their customer. They are prompting and giving these contexts and this information. More systems are in place to help this AI perform better. So you're going to get a lot different response versus, hey, write about the 9 best credit cards, versus somebody like Visa or some of these other companies that are quite large actually going in using their own, proprietary data, giving insights and contexts into how they know customers and consumers are using their products, right? So these are the kind of things that are really going to shape the future of this. It's not just going to be, let me pretend to be an expert. It's going to be, here are the real stories, the real examples, and the real concerns that I know our customers have, and how we are presenting that and answering that in the best possible way. And when an AI writes that, if it helps the user, that's really going to be the ultimate arbiter.
Yeah, and here is the huge role there is knowing your customer, knowing the problems of your customer. And again, AI can really help that with user content and use cases
100%.
and case stories. You can even turn the customer questions or like customer support content. That is actually an amazing source for creating content for AI search engines as well.
Absolutely. It was a great discussion. So I'm excited for you guys to take a look.
Thank you, Matt, so much for sharing this incredible knowledge. And I hope that it's useful for everybody else.